When a certain tree was first planted, it was 4 feet tall, and the height of the tree increased by a constant amount each year for the next 6 years. Increased by a constant amount. What does this phrase mean? Increased by a constant amount? So was the increase the same percentage every year, or in terms of feet, was it the same? What was constant each year? In terms of feet, right? Yeah. So let's say whatever, in 1 year, let's say the growth was 2 feet. So every year the growth was 2 feet. It's not percentage. And anyway, initially there's a height of the tree, 4 feet, and then there's an increment that's happening every year for 6 years. At the end of the 6th year, the tree was 1/5 taller than it was at the end of the 4th year. At the end of the 6th year, okay, it was 1/5 taller than it was at the end of 4th year. So 2 years before, 1/5 taller. So whatever its height was at the end of the 4th year, plus 1/5 of that height. That's how much the height became at the end of the 6th year. By how many feet did the height of the tree increase each year? Okay. We'll discuss two approaches here, right? What we are told is that 1/5 of year 4 should be equal. Basically, one way to understand this is that 1/5 of the height at the end of year 4. 1/5 of the height at the end of year 4 is how much the growth was in the last 2 years. Right? At the end of the 6th year, the tree was 1/5 taller. So whatever the height was at the end of the 4th year, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, year 6, whatever this height was, how much was the growth from that point? This growth was nothing but 1/5 of the height at the end of that year, at the end of the 4th year. Right? So 1/5 of this much was actually added on top. We can think of it that way. And that's how we got to the end of the 6th year. Okay. So one way is we could try the options also, right? This is just to highlight how we can actually use options as well. So by how many feet did the height of the tree increase each year? Indeed, these are the answer choices of feet per year, the growth in terms of feet per year. So even if, let's say, nothing else strikes us, let's start with the very first option, 3/10. What do we need to do here? On one side, I'll figure out how much was the height at the end of the 4th year. How much would be the height at the end of the 4th year? Well, the initial height is 4 feet plus 4 times this answer choice, whichever answer choice I'm dealing with, right? So let's say 3/10. So 4 feet plus 4 times 3/10. That would be the height at the end of the 4th year. And then 1/5 of that, 1/5 of this would be equal to how much? The growth in the last 2 years. How much was the growth in the last 2 years? 2 times the same answer choice. So whichever option shows that the LHS is equal to RHS would be the right answer. So that's one way. Let's get into it, right? First option is 1/5 of 4 plus 4 times 3/10 equal to 2 times 3/10. Well, if I notice, 4 times 3/10 is 12/10. 4 plus something a little bit more than 1. Overall, this bracket is greater than 5. And then that divided by 5, overall, LHS is greater than 1. And the right side is 2 times 3/10. 6/10 is definitely less than 1. Right? So, no, here the left side is not equal to right side. A can't be the answer. I won't calculate the exact value. I'm getting a rough estimate and I can notice that already it's wrong. Let's try the second one. Is 1/5 of, let me just clear this, 4 plus 4 times 2/5 equal to 2 times 2/5. Now, again, what do I notice inside? Well, 4 times 2/5, 8/5 plus 4. Again, LHS is more than 1. RHS is less than 1. So left hand side can't be equal to the right side. This one is gone also. Third one, 1/5 times 4 plus 2. This is 2. 4 plus 2, 6/5. Left hand side is 6/5. Right hand side is 1. Not equal. Next one is 1/5 times 4 plus 8/3 equal to 4/3. I could calculate, but I've been able to eliminate 3 options already. This one, I can't eliminate right away. Right? I'm not very sure. Let me park it aside. I'll come back to it. Let me look at if I can eliminate the last one or actually calculate the last one easily. Then I'll come back to D. What's going on in the last one? 1/5 times 4 plus 4 times 6/5. That's the left side. Is that equal to 2 times 6/5? That's what I have to figure out. Now, one thing I notice here, if I multiply by 1/5 inside the bracket, I get 4/5 plus 4 times 6, 24/25. That's the left hand side. 4/5 less than 1, 24 by 5 less than 1. I'm adding up two numbers which are less than 1. Will I get something which is greater than 1? No. 2 times 6 by 5, 2 times something greater than 1 is more than 2. I'm adding up two terms which are less than 1 each. My sum overall will not be more than 2. So E is wrong also. This should read E. And that already confirms that D is the answer. I could, to be more certain, calculate it also. But then just because I've been able to eliminate the others, that also leads me to understand D will be correct. So what we did here was we started off with the answer choices and checked which one fits. Of course, we could go the algebraic way here as well. Right? That perhaps was a very clean way to deal with this question. The idea in algebra is to understand what the equation should be. Right? So that's why in words, the problem needs to be clear first. What's the problem here? Again, that 1/5, basically I'll use the same statement here to create an equation. 1/5 of year 4's height should be equal to the growth in 2 years. Right? I'll use that to create an equation. Growth in feet is the same every year. Growth in years 5 and 6 is basically 2 times the growth per year. And that's equal to 1/5 the height at the end of year 4. Now, let's say the growth per year, what we need to figure out is x feet. Let's say. What would be the height at the end of the 4th year? Well, 4 feet initially plus 4x, plus x plus x plus x plus x for every year. So 4 feet plus 4x. That would be the height at the end of the 4th year. What would be the growth in the last 2 years? X plus x, 2x. Now, 1/5 of the height at the end of the 4th year. 1/5 of that is equal to 2x. Now it's a matter of solving for x. I get x equals 2 by 3. Most of you